but kind of like giving you an overview of the way that I work with the records and the way that I understand them, because they are a very sort of ethereal thing that can be hard to wrap your head around. And it's more experiential than it is easy to sort of describe and articulate. But from my experience, the records kind of operate as a record and energy that represents our soul and the wisdom of our soul and the experiences of our soul throughout this lifetime and previous lifetimes, if you believe in reincarnation. So the records can help us tap into wisdom that's contained from prior life experiences, current life experiences, and kind of act as a tool for divination to help us unlock future potential and kind of prepare ourselves energetically for the potential that exists. And so when I step into the records, I often see them as like a vast library. I often see them as a garden. I often see them as an ocean or like a pool of water that I'm stepping into. But they always take on this sort of like abundant space that contains a lot that can make you feel like quite small when you access it. And because we're going into this energetic space, it can be really helpful to ground and really helpful to go in with a strong container and to have really specific questions. Because if you were to walk into a library and like pull all the books down from the shelves and start just like scanning chapters, it would be really overwhelming and not particularly helpful. So similarly, when we're working with the records, we want to go in with some degree of precision or some degree of focus. And so that means asking open-ended questions that are as specific as we want the answer to be. And so to put that in less confusing words, basically the more specific the question, the more specific the answer. The more general the question, the more general the answer. So just things to think about as we're each going to be posing questions tonight, or at least have the opportunity to. If you are asking a really specific question for yourself, you might get really specific answers. We try to steer away from yes, no's, but sometimes the answer will sort of naturally come through. And because this is like a really energetic space and we each have different personal tools for channeling and translating information, and I believe we're all psychic and we all have ability to sort of access different mediums of information, whether it's clairvoyance, sight, whether it's hearing, feeling, sensing. We each have our own gifts. And so I really encourage everyone to just be open to however information comes through for you, especially if you're new to this and especially if you're new to channeling. Having like your shoulder suddenly get itchy, or seeing a hamburger, or hearing a song play, or having like your dog run up and suddenly like lick your hand, like all of these things can actually contain information for us and can be really powerful. So just tuning into trust as much as possible, and not worrying about like looking silly or sounding silly, because truly some of the most potent information that I've received and that I've witnessed in group readings has been from people just like trusting what comes up and just being willing to share it.